Hey everybody, welcome back to It's Polarizing. Tonight we're talking about the great, or not so great, North, Canada. We're talking about Justin Trudeau. He's been Prime Minister for a while now. Some folks love him, some folks don't. That's politics, right? But there's a bigger question here. Is it time for Canada to try something new? Is it time for Trudeau to step aside? Look, Canada's facing some big challenges. The economy, climate change, you name it. These are tough problems that need strong leadership. And that leadership needs the trust of the people. Without trust, it's just a bunch of politicians yelling at each other. Not exactly inspiring, is it? So how do you build trust? By being honest, by being decisive, by showing up and doing the work, even when it's hard. That's what real leadership looks like. And that's what we need more of, not just in Canada, but everywhere. Okay, let's talk about Trudeau. He came in with a lot of promises. Remember sunny ways? Yeah, about that. Trudeau's approval ratings have been, well, let's just say they've had more dips than a plate of poutine. And that's a problem. When people lose faith in their leaders, they lose faith in the system. They start to tune out. They become cynical, and that's a dangerous road to go down. We've seen it happen in other countries, and it's not pretty. So what's the answer? Well, sometimes you need a fresh start, a new face, someone who can come in with new ideas and a new perspective, someone who can unite the country, not divide it. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I'm going to talk about America, aren't you? And you'd be right. Because south of the border, something interesting happened. Joe Biden, a guy who's been around the block a few times, managed to do something pretty remarkable. He stepped aside. How? By being honest about the challenges facing America, by listening to people and seeing the writing on the wall for his party's success or impending failure, by offering solutions, not just sound bites. It wasn't easy and it didn't happen overnight, but it happened. Now, I'm not saying Biden's perfect, no politician is, but he showed that it's possible to restore faith in government by putting aside self-interest. He showed that it's possible to bring people together, and his stepping down, well, that's a lesson Trudeau could learn from. So here we go, fresh ideas for a new era. Look, the world's changing faster than ever. Technology, the environment, the global economy, it's all in flux. And to navigate these challenges, we need leaders who are willing to embrace new ideas. Leaders who aren't afraid to think outside the box. Trudeau, well, he's been a bit more of the same. Don't get me wrong, he's done some good things, but has he been bold? Has he been innovative? Not really. Imagine a Canada with a leader who's not afraid to shake things up. A leader who's willing to invest in green technology, who's committed to tackling income inequality, who understands that the future is now, and we need to be ready for it. That's the kind of leadership Canada deserves. Lastly, let's discuss healing the divide. Let's be honest, Canada's not immune to the polarization we're seeing around the world. People are angry, they're frustrated, and they're looking for someone to blame. This is where leadership really matters. A good leader brings people together. A bad leader exploits those divisions for their own gain. Trudeau, well, he hasn't exactly been a unifying figure. In fact, some would argue he's made things worse, and that's a real shame. Because Canada is at its best when it's united. Imagine a Canada where people are listening to each other again, where they're working together to solve problems, where they're celebrating their differences instead of fearing them. That's the Canada I believe in. And that's the Canada we can have with the right leadership. So what's the takeaway here? It's time for a change. It's time for Trudeau to step aside and let someone else take the reins. Someone who can restore trust, embrace new ideas, and heal the divides in Canadian society. The Liberal Party has a chance to do something truly remarkable, to put the country first, to choose unity over division, to choose progress over stagnation. The choice is theirs. And for the sake of Canada, I hope they make the right one.